Hello everybody, I am Shannon from Nana's Workshop and this is Garden Talk. I'm so glad to be here. Today I'm at the Neligh Shamrock nursery. They have 4 satellite outlets, one in Neligh, Verdigris, O'Neill, and Norfolk. We're talking Nebraska here. They have the best plants, the best employees. This is a great place to shop. My favorite place anyway. Today I'm in the perennial yard. And you can see the trees and some shrubs in the far back side. But today I'm going to talk to you about some important things to do when you're shopping for plants. First of all, you're going to want to know what soil type you have, if it's loam or clay or sand. It makes a big difference on what kind of plants and if they're going to work in that type of soil. Second, what zone are you in? Now, Nebraska is a 4 or 5. Usually your local nurseries only sell the plants that work in your zone anyway, so you shouldn't have to worry. But if you order something online that does not work for you, it's not going to come back, and so you're kind of out your money. So your best bet is just shop local, buy the things that work, they're tried and true. You want to make sure you plan out your area. Are you wanting perennials that come back every year, or are you gonna put in annuals and redo them every year after year? So another thing to consider is your lighting. Are you putting a bed on the north side of your building, which is probably in the shade, or the south side, which is full sun? The east would be morning sun and afternoon shade, and the west is going to be morning shade and afternoon sun, hot sun. So you have to consider all these things to make your plants grow, to make your garden work. So it seems like a lot, but it really isn't. Once you make yourself knowledgeable about what you're going to put in, where you want it, the biggest thing is to read those tags. They give you all the information on there, and read the backs. And also, your local employees in the garden nurseries are very knowledgeable. If you have questions, ask them. Now I have had several people ask me that they want hostas. Well, hostas do not work in the sun. They just don't. So right now I'm going to talk about shade plants. So, like I just mentioned, hostas, they're beautiful plants, but they love the shade. They love it, love it, love it. They're beautiful. You can get so many different varieties. You can get whites, the leaves with white stripes in them. They're and dark blue leaves. Very many different varieties in there. But make sure that they will go in the shade. Another shade plant is a stilby. These are very, very pretty plumed flowers, but they cannot take the sun. Those leaves will fry. And then another shade plant is ferns. They have several different varieties of ferns. Beautiful leaves, very pretty leaves. And another idea are corabels. I love the variety of color corabels can give you in a garden, in a shade garden. These work so well in full shade or in the morning sun with afternoon shade. This is just one color that's out there. There's so many different colors. They are awesome colors. So right now I just want to reiterate, I'm talking about perennials here. So they're going to come back every year. So you don't have to worry about replanting. So all those are shade plants. Now I'm going to talk about some sun perennials. So anything sedum loves the sun. They have that thick leaf and thick stem that they hold that moisture in them. They're just full of water, and they will do so well in that hot sun, especially on the south side of a building. Perfect. Another one is iris. Iris love the sun. They just love it out there by themselves. This is a beautiful variegated variety here. Very, very pretty. And it shoots up a purple flower, and I I promise you it smells like grape bubble gum. That's what I think. I'm gonna stick to my word on that. Of course, grasses love the sun. This is Elijah Blue. It is so pretty. It has that neutral blue gray color in it. And this is about the biggest it gets. Very cute along the borders of your garden, but full sun, full sun. Another very common one is coneflower. So coneflowers love the sun, and they have many different colors too. This one is called Cheyenne Spirit, and these flowers are just beautiful on there. So many different. The most common one is the purple one, purple flowered one. Your local nurseries probably have a great variety of any of these plants, but again, these are the perennials that come back every year. Another one that loves the sun are daisies. Now this is a double, this is Santee. This is a full sun, but this is a Shasta daisy family. Look at that, isn't that pretty? That's cute, isn't it? Okay, so let's move on to annuals. Now annuals you will pot in your pots, or you just replant them as fillers in your garden to fill in some spots to make it look more full around the perennials. These will not come back, so you have to redo them every year. Now let's talk about some shade annuals. I call it the polka dot plant. I love these. Isn't that beautiful? They come in a white variety too, with the white variegated in the leaf. Isn't that pretty? But again, they're annuals. They will not come back. Now this is a begonia, and the name of this one is a dragon wing red begonia. This will take maybe morning sun, but that's it. It has to stay in the shade. Now, a lot of people will put them in hangers on their porches if they face north, so there's no sun that gets them. They're very cute little red flower on there. Very beautiful leaf. Very, very pretty leaf. Another more common shade annual is the impatiens. Impatiens come in so many different colors. They're so pretty. Now I like to use them under my pergola just to fill in and around the hostas. If there's a hole, you know, there's an open spot, put one of these in there for a pop of color in there amongst the hostas. But these are really cute. I love them. And they do fill in nicely. So let's go to the sun annuals, full sun. Now, the most common ones are the geraniums. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that red just beautiful? Now, they love the sun. They do. Overwatering geraniums isn't a good idea. So, you know, they can take a little bit of dry soil, but you know, you always want to check them and water always underneath. Don't water your plants up above. They're going to last a lot longer and get a lot healthier. Always water your plants down below. That way it doesn't cause disease or rot on the leaves and bug infestation. This is another variety of geranium. Isn't that pretty? Aren't these pretty colors? They're just beautiful. I believe this is a Rocky Mountain lavender. Isn't that gorgeous for those colors? Yes, another geranium. Another annual, and a lot of people use these in pots, is your lantana. Lantana can come in a variety of colors. The mixture of that one right there, isn't that cute? But these take the dry heat, you know, drought very, very well. It's your probably favorite go-to plant if you have, like, on the south side a sidewalk, and you can plant these along that sidewalk, and they're gonna do well. And speaking of those kind of hot spots along your sidewalk where that heat bakes on that cement, another one is moss rose. Isn't that a pretty orange color? But these guys love it. They love that heat, and they get they're nice filler for the garden. On your borders, on your edges, that just gets that hot sun every day and all afternoon. So these are great varieties. Another one that I like is pentas. I've seen them in red, pink, and white. A great variety. Beautiful. It's just a very pretty plant. It fills in, and then it has these blooms on top. Like I said, always remember to water down below. It's your best bet to keep those plants alive and well and healthy. So there's just a few varieties that you can put in your garden. Another things you want to think about when you're putting in your garden is watch for plants that could be invasive. Now, by that I mean that if there are runners under the ground, that plant shoots off and shoots up more plants in another spot, or they reseed. Reseeders are when that bloom goes to seed and it spreads in the air, and then it'll regrow itself. Kind of want to watch for that. If you want something to naturalize, those plants are the best for you. If you're out in the country and you just have a corner that you want to fill in, every year they will come back and grow. They're not necessarily a perennial, but they're considered a reseeder. So let's see, we can do a quick walkthrough, you guys, but if you want to join, subscribe to my channel. It's Nana's Workshop here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications, so every time I go live, you guys are going to see it. So let's go inside and take a walk around quick before we go. I will just take you through the perennial yard here. There's so many pretties here. A lot of different varieties of trees they have down there. They have some vining plants. Also look for these too. Some of them cannot take the sun, so they're more of a shade plant. But the clematis are very common, and they do like the sun. Always remember, if you're going to plant something big or vining, make sure you mulch underneath, so they have that chance to have that soil constantly moist and constantly cool. Very cute varieties of some lilies, dianthus, beautiful colors. So we'll just come inside and I'll show you what they have. This is a beautiful store. They have some succulents planted to buy. They have it decorated in here, so beautiful. Look at this petunia pot. It's amazing. It's so pretty. So I'm going into the annuals now. And you can see the vincas. There's another sun that loves the sun. They do very well. Beautiful hanging potted plants. Marigolds is another one that likes the sun. Coleus. Now you want to read up on your coleus because some can take the sun and some cannot. Look at that purple on there. Isn't that gorgeous? Lots of varieties of petunias. There's impatiens. Then over here they have their fillers where you can make your own pots and use these as your fillers. And I talked about the last garden talk that you want a thriller, a spiller, and a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. And that's the best way you can always remember to make your pots look amazing. But all these little fillers can help you do that. Now they've been trimming back some of these petunias because they need to get in the ground, and they're just going to get too leggy, so they cut them back so the customers can have a nice full plant. Here's some more vines. These are annual vines. Black-eyed Susan vines. I love the yellow, and if you mix the yellow and the orange together, they're beautiful, beautiful plants. Very cool place. Beautiful flowers, beautiful variety. So there you have it, guys. Thanks again for joining me. Garden Talk. Thanks again. This is Shannon from Nana's Workshop. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks again. Take care. God bless, everyone.